There are few things as satisfying as watching a zombie explode in slow motion X-ray cam, the sight of putrid guts exploding like sausages past their sell-by date, or a single bullet sending a Nazi's nipples flying to a neighbouring town. No doubt about it, the violence in Zombie Army 4 is jaw-dropping, quite literally so in this poor bastard's case. With the series originating as Sniper Elite 2 DLC, it's no surprise seeing Zombie Army 4 again reusing Rebellion's internal kill cam. Of course, this is the version based on Sniper Elite 4, so shows those festering wounds in more spectacular detail than the creaky Zombie Army Trilogy, and as in Sniper Elite 4, kill cams now extend to explosive deaths, which is lovely. Kill cam is also one of the few benefits of playing Dead War in single player. In 4-person co-op, the kill cam tends to activate less or is easily skipped. A shame, as I'd love to force my friends to revel in my long distance murders. For all Zombie Army's arcade silliness, you can still detect hints of the underlying sniper sim in the bullet drop and wind impact that kick in on higher difficulties. Anyway, this video is a rundown of all the major improvements made by Zombie Army 4. It was recorded on a base Xbox One, so please pardon the rather hazy resolution. If you do enjoy this video, we ask that you do your best impression of this terrifying sod and give the video a thumbs up. We don't mind if it's one on your hand or one growing out of your back or head. While this is a video about how Zombie Army 4 changes and hopefully improves upon Trilogy, it's important to point out that the basics of shooting zombies in the head still feels great. Ask any Zombie Army Trilogy fan what kept them coming back and they'll likely mention the headshots. Not just the gooey satisfaction of the individual kills, but the sheer number of the things. Unlike the panicked rush of Left 4 Dead or Killing Floor, Zombie Army is happy to give you fields of very slow undead, and the time and space to pick off their heads one by one. Yes, it applies the pressure at other times, and more on that in a second, but it also understands that a big part of the zombie fantasy is exploding an unwitting foe and seeing your combo meter ping up a notch. Zombie Army 4 doesn't rewrite the rulebook here, but levels do offer up a scale and undead density that ensures its simplest pleasure is provided on tap. But it also offers a bit more variety than the earlier trilogy, finding ways of piling on the pressure or changing the flavour of the action. Our opening mission in Sardinia whips us from a slightly chaotic forest fight to a much larger junkyard where the need to fill fuel tanks challenges the team to either stick together and fight off a focused horde or use the extra space to split up and lure zombies into smaller flocks. It has a larger scope than anything in Trilogy, and I'm not just talking about the one attached to the gun, but as soon as this wide area is conquered, you're suddenly in claustrophobic bunkers where the lights are off and you rely on torches to spot new creeper enemies. Not particularly scary with 3 other maniacs puking out lead, but you can see how single players would find this more stressful. The same level even channels some Left 4 Dead energy as hordes of creepers and larger elite enemy types bundle together and come at us from either end of a corridor, creating one of those ceaseless walls of meat that push you down to your last few handgun bullets before offering a cathartic getaway. Don't get me wrong, this is still fundamentally a hugely repetitive game, but more effort has gone into taking the foot on and off the gas pedal. The variety is more keenly felt when you try a level in solo play, as I did with this stage set in amongst the magma flow of an exploding Vesuvius. Rebellion has spoken about their desire to make the game more relevant to lone wolves, and it definitely feels like more of a horror experience, as thinning the Horde at a distance becomes more valuable. When all hell does break loose, you have to be a lot more nimble on your feet as you kite entire armies into the path of oncoming grenades like a pyrotechnic Pied Piper, and focus on squeezing every drop of damage out of shots, be it detonating suicide zombies in the middle of their friends, or just using every item offered up by the battlefield. Thankfully, this stressful moment is then followed by more traditional sniping as you pluck the heads off rooftop attackers in a segment that could have come from Resident Evil 4. Whether Rebellion can find enough variety to keep these peaks and troughs feeling natural is yet to be seen. Most of my 2 hours with the game is spent shooting waves of zombies as some random object charges up. But again, if you didn't have a problem with that in Zombie Army Trilogy, you'll probably be able to stomach it here. Given how much of the appeal hinges on killing lots of things quickly, the introduction of juicier weapons is a simple win for Rebellion. Giant elite zombies may fill you with fear when they stride into the action, but they also bring toys that can be turned on their zombie pals. Swiping a heavy machine gun is permission to turn the level around you into a jam factory, at least for the handful of seconds you manage to squeeze from that limited ammo clip. Flamethrowers are another treat delivered straight to your hands. Its spray of magma won't win any awards for pretty fire physics, it looks like a river of angry marmalade, but it will nicely cremate any brainless idiots coming for a chew. When multiple members of the team have one, it's a particular delight, turning the screen orange and making me very happy that games don't support smell-o-vision. The best new toy comes courtesy of this Butcher mini-boss. He's a hulking brute who will absorb bullets more efficiently than I absorb Toblerones. Well, unless he gets stuck on the scenery and lets you feed bullets direct to his head. Killing him drops the buzzsaw, which does exactly what you would hope a buzzsaw would do. It turns the undead into the fundead, letting you wade through crowds to the sounds of violent squelching and the sight of flying limbs. One of my complaints in 2019's Resident Evil 2 remake was that it didn't let me test the impressive gore physics with an unlockable chainsaw. This definitely scratches that messy itch. On top of this, you also have temporary weapon modifiers that boost regular guns with fire or electric damage. These are neat ways of a regular soldier punching above his weight, but let's not pretend that they compare with an actual flamethrower. Of course, anything you can do, the zombies can seemingly do better. Just as you've got on top of the festering boots on the ground, they bring out a zombie tank. Yes, apparently vehicles can be undead now, chasing you down of their own free will like Herbie the Lovebug's mad goth brother. I only fight the one zombie half track in our demo, and that's quite stressful enough for me as our gang tries to shoot off weakened panels to reveal the fleshy heart inside. Do cars actually have hearts? I don't know, I failed my driving test 9 times. If I'd taken it in this bad boy, I might actually have stood a chance. Another burst of chaos comes from blood fountains, small siege areas that see you having to kill zombies in a satanic circle in order to make blood sacrifices to a fountain. Okay, on paper it's not that different from demonic locks that won't unlock until you've killed everyone, or waves of zombies to survive while an object slowly activates, but the difference here is encouraging enemies to get a little too close for comfort before offing them. In this particular encounter, the area is filled with explosive oil barrels, and most of the zombies are carrying oil cans that turn the floor at their feet into an inferno. It's basically impossible to fire a bullet without zombies exploding more zombies around them. A particularly good moment then to show off the tweaked combo meter, used to earn mega points multiplier, and which now has a timer ticking down that forces you to find your next kill. As fun as it is to have slower shooting galleries asking you to snipe your way up a combo chain, there is something to be said for Rebellion gleefully including moments destined to send your scores skyrocketing. You also get similar opportunities from summoning rifts found around the game. Normally summoners are bad news. You'll find these commander sods who call reinforcements and have to be shot in their hearts in order to kill them. But the summoning rifts let you conjure fresh enemies for yourself, the idea being that the more waves of enemies you outlast, the better the rewards they drop. At any time you can run over and close the rift to stop increasingly nasty Nazis from emerging, but if you can handle the heat, you'll be rewarded with much needed ammo and items. I'm personally too chicken to see how good the rewards can get, but it will be fun finding out. For every new way of piling on the pressure, the game also finds new zombie slaying tricks. Traps are lifted wholesale from Rebellion's 2019 co-op romp Strange Brigade. Zombie Army is basically the video nasty version of that Saturday matinee adventure. Shoot the giant targets and you'll power up churning fans or electrified pads that pop zombie heads like sausages left in the pan for too long. Very good for thinning larger groups in single player where you don't have the co-op powers covering multiple enemy fronts. Slightly less flashy, but just as handy, are new takedowns that offer instant kills after building a 10-kill combo. They give you health and ammo and bring down bigger enemies. I find that they're best saved for larger armoured elites. That's these freaks cosplaying as that guy from Dead Space. Of course, if you're anything like me, you'll end up just using them to see the range of gruesome animations, from the old shotgun belly to an electric hand buzzer taken to its logical extreme, or you could just stab them in the top of the head as if you were opening a can of beans. Evil beans. Similarly, you also get new weapon assists by killing 10 enemies with any given weapon. With a rifle, this means stronger bullets with greater penetration, whereas shotguns or SMGs lose recoil or bullet spread and slightly slow time to allow for faster shots. Finally, you can use a charged pistol to mark enemies for instant headshots, although I was too trigger happy to use this to any great effect. You'll have to imagine 7 heads exploding in glorious unison. More dedicated fans racked up hundreds of hours in Zombie Army Trilogy, despite the game offering no progression system to reward those hours of play. Hundreds of hours of the same zombies with the same guns. Not so in Zombie Army 4, which brings screen after screen of tweaks and unlocks earned by climbing through XP-fueled ranks. At the most basic level, you get upgrade kits to spice up every weapon, giving a sniper rifle explosive rounds, a faster reload or better scope, before using branching upgrade options to pick, say, getting health back on kills or increased melee damage. To be honest, the differences between a fully powered gun and base model aren't dramatically obvious in what I played, but you could argue that this at least doesn't unbalance the game. You can have a jolly head-popping time whether you're rank 1 or 100. Slightly more attractive are special melee attacks that unlock as you rank up. These are moves performed by filling this gauge down here and range from machete slashes and incendiary axe throws to a giant electric fist that lets you do your best impression of Thanos. And if you're worried that this will get Marvel's lawyers on the phone, definitely don't show them the Divine Blast, which will leave all zombies stealing Saw. All these have more powerful versions with deadlier after effects, also unlocked at higher ranks. Then you have the more traditional perks, boosting damage or weapons or explosives, boosting stamina or letting you revive from a fallen position by landing a kill. This is especially useful playing in solo mode where there's no helpers to lift you back to your feet. These perks unlock at different ranks and then can be further beefed up by performing certain achievements. Killing lots of zombies with grenades sees the Bombardier perk increase damage, range, then damage radius. Even the items you find in the field can be modified, with each offering 2 mods that can change the behaviour. A med pack could have an auto revive function to jump you back to your feet, or can be used less selfishly to unleash a divine burst that heals nearby allies and weakens enemies in the vicinity. It all adds up to a more complete feeling experience than before. Last but definitely not least, Horde mode, which takes all the tiny improvements listed throughout this video and crams them into an endless zombie siege. The biggest addition is the way the arena itself evolves over the battle, opening up new routes as zombies bust through walls or dropping weapon and ammo packages in deeper, darker corners to take you out of your comfort zone and deal with the threat from a different angle. Throw into this the gradual appearance of mini-boss characters, our friend the Butcher or the Screamer and his disgusting thumb-covered body, and you certainly aren't given the opportunity to catch your breath, whether it's got the legs attached to its body or otherwise, to compete with other Horde classics is yet to be seen. I do think it lacks an in-match economy, spending points to place defences a la Gears of War, or just buying new weapons in Call of Duty's similar mode. Zombie Army 4 is very stripped back by comparison, selling itself entirely on the satisfaction of splatting those skulls. It's something it does very well, but probably more enjoyably in the varied environments of the campaign. Of course, you don't have long to wait to see if this will tick your own zombie boxes as the game shambles out on February the 4th, sadly as an Epic Store exclusive on PC, which means all those friends that fans have made playing the game on Steam will have to convince their fearless zombie hunting friends to make the trip with them. We'll try and get a review of the game up, so if you found this video useful and want to hear more, please do subscribe to the channel and select the bell icon so you get our video notifications. If you have any questions about what we've played or not covered in the video, pop them in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching Rock Paper Shotgun, and hopefully we will see you again soon. Bye for now.